On the night of October the 19th, 2017, a small automatic observatory opened its dome. This is the Wide Field Survey Telescope, called PanSTARRS, or Panoramic Survey Telescope and Rapid Response System, funded by NASA's Near Earth Orbit program. PanSTARRS is one of a handful of telescopes scanning the night sky for asteroids. On death plunge collisions with Earth. This is how they work. Scanning the night sky multiple times, they filter out single point sources, stars, and send a parsed list of objects that move or change in brightness to the research team. On the morning of the 20th of October, astrophysicist Robert Work looked at PanSTARRS' last night's log at his desk at the University of Hawaii's astronomy department. No doubt this was a sizable list of moving objects. Most could be filtered by a list of known asteroids kept by the Minor Planet Center in Boston. Others were classed as classified by Space Command based at Peterson, Colorado. They have first dibs at PanSTARRS and other surveys' asteroid data. What Work was looking for was a telltale dot-to-dot trace made by a moving asteroid. By just taking 4 photographs and playing Join the Dots, the PanSTARRS team and the Minor Planet Center can work out not just if the dot is a new discovery, but its current orbit and its planned future orbit through space. They give it points out of 10 for a possible future intersection with planet Earth. If they might crash into the Earth in the future, these rogue rocks are named non-trivial targets. But one set of dots stood out. Far more spaced out over time, hence speed, than a regular old asteroid rock. This object was moving fast and had already passed Earth 4 days ago. This was no ordinary asteroid. In fact, it wasn't an asteroid at all. With its extreme speed, it must not have come from our solar system. It was extraterrestrial. Or to be more accurate, extrasolar. Initially named 1-2017, stroke U1. Alarm bells rang in the halls of the Manoa University of Hawaii Astronomy Department. What their telescope had found was the first photographic evidence of an extraterrestrial visitor. Quickly frustrated by repeating its dry science name to colleagues on the phone, Work and his colleague Karen Meach named it Rama, from the science fiction novel by Arthur C. Clarke, Rendezvous with Rama. But seeking a better name, they enlisted the help of a Hawaiian linguist and historian. They came up with the Hawaiian language word Oumuamua, meaning scout, or visitor from afar coming to watch us. This was no ordinary sighting. I can tell you now, it was assessed by the US Space Command for any military threat potential.
Data building, zooming in on a grid, Whiskey Charlie 6, check sources. Intel confirmed.
After 3 days of embargoed blackout, this extraterrestrial scout was revealed to the world. But there was a problem. It had not been seen approaching Earth, and now it was hurtling towards our sun. Oumuamua was only going to be in our solar backyard for a precious few days. Science and government resources were thrown at our visiting friend. The Green Bank Radio Telescope in West Virginia listened for any radio emissions coming from Oumuamua. None were found. The Hubble Space Telescope was reassigned to take this amazing photograph, and even the Keck was maneuvered to spot the visitor. Telescope time is precious. Often proposals for observations are submitted months in advance, but planet Earth only had 1 week. What I can tell you now was, at the time, secret. Arecibo is really the world's largest military radar dish, pumping out microwaves into space to measure the speed, size and spin of ICBMs and rogue satellites. Okay, it was also used for some science, but it was primarily funded by the US military. In what would sadly become its last operational mission, Arecibo was asked to bounce its powerful radar off Oumuamua, but it never happened. A hurricane in Puerto Rico had just put Arecibo out of action. What we didn't know at the time was that same hurricane weakened Arecibo's guy wires, and that finally led to its sad demise. So, lacking decent radar coverage, optical telescopes were used to assess its shape and colour. What they found was shocking. This was no dark, dense rock. It was flat, shiny, and possibly red in colour. Soon our visiting friend got a decent push as a slingshot around our sun and sped off back into deep space. It performed one last trick. Data shows that it accelerated faster than the push given to it by our sun. Was this evidence that it was alien technology, or just an unknown force of nature? There has been heated debate over Oumuamua's purpose and origin. We do know it came from the constellation Lyra. Was it scouting out our civilization? Was it collecting data from alien probes already in our solar system? What is true is it took a long time to reach our neck of the woods, unless it possessed a propulsion system unknown to humans. So, what the heck was it? A Wikipedia search tells me that the science consensus is Oumuamua was just a shiny rock. But Avi Loeb wrote this. If cavemen came across a modern day iPhone, they would probably say it was a shiny rock. Maybe we are the cavemen. And the advanced technology on board Oumuamua is completely misunderstood by us today. Will it come back? Probably not, because the truth is out there. Okay, stop it there. I'm now going to tell you a secret about finding UFO information. A lot of people don't realize that your country limits your access to data. Just look at this. This is a Google search for the term UFO in the US, in Italy, in Serbia, and in France. The search results were very different. Some countries are far more open at sharing data, and others are quite closed. So to get round that issue, I use NordVPN. This is how it works.
What is a VPN and how does it work? All about it in this video. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. It's a tool that encrypts your internet traffic and hides your IP address and virtual location. What's a VPN used for? A virtual private network significantly boosts your online privacy and security. Thanks to its encryption, third parties cannot spy on your online activity. Even your internet service provider cannot see what you do online. A VPN also allows you to overcome internet censorship. All your traffic is routed through a remote server, so you can access websites restricted in your country.
Because I like NordVPN, they're sponsoring this video, and I'm happy to recommend their service to you. So I can pass on 2 amazing discounts using this promo code. Firstly, 30 days free trial to see what you can find in the World Wide Web. And secondly, a massive discount. What's not to love?